proud to welcome you to our session on breaking through our terror barrier. It is important for us to know that nothing is there to stop us from achieving our goal. And that is why, even though our Jamaican team has not been doing so well recently, but just a reminder that they did it. And so it is possible. No matter what, it is possible. And we have to remind ourselves in every situation that it is possible to achieve our goals. It is possible. Nothing has to hold us back. We are going to be going into our presentation this evening on breaking through our terror barriers. I am Rosette James Smith, CEO of Pull Power Now Coaching Services, and we are here to pull you into your greater life. I know others of you might know me in other scenarios, but when you're stepping into your purpose, when you're moving into where you want to be, you have to start to claim and start to move into new areas. So welcome, 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 Kimon, Jason, Venice, and we know others will join afterwards. Welcome to you, and thank you for being on time, because here at Pull Power Now Coaching Services, we respect your time. Just want to, before we start our presentation, just to offer a word of prayer. So Father, we thank you for your goodness. We thank you for allowing us to be reminded that we are created for greatness. As we step into our greatness by attending this session, as we make the step, help us, Father, to know that we were created in your image, so there is nothing that is there to hold us back. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. All right, so we're going to be moving straight ahead. And remember, no matter what, there is nothing to hold you back. This slide says the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek, and it is from Joseph Campbell. A lot of persons, and you can put in the chat what you get from this, what you think it means. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. A lot of times we allow our fears to hold us back from the things that we need to do. Fear causes us to be crippled. Some of us, we can't even walk. We can't give that talk. You're called on to give a talk. You're called on to share something, and you allow fear to hold you back. The presentation can't start. The song won't come. Your feet just won't move. In psychology, we call it fight, flight, or freeze, where sometimes you're there having that fight, even with yourself, because something in you wants to move. Something in you wants to get ahead, but there is that internal fight. And then some of us actually run. I've seen persons who are in situations, and when you look, you cannot find them, even on the football field. Persons are there when they realize that the crowd is there, when they realize that things cannot happen, they're afraid. Kimon says the risk we're afraid to take may just be the one that leads us exactly where we're destined to be. So true, so true. That cave that you are afraid to enter. And freeze. Freeze is there, and a lot of persons can relate to freeze. Freeze where we're just there and we can't move. You want to go, but something is just holding you back. Something is just keeping you back from where you need to be. It's time to get ahead. It's time to move past that. So we're talking about the terror barrier. And that terror barrier is that force that holds us back from our greatness. That force that stops us from getting into where we want to go, places you want to, places God has destined for you to be. But that terror barrier holds us back. We have to be aware that this is not the end. This cannot be it. The terror barrier is greatly influenced by a word, and not a lot of us are familiar with our paradigm. The paradigm Bob Proctor describes as a group of habits that are programmed in your subconscious mind that control behavior. Now imagine that we have been doing these things all our life, and so they control how we speak, they control how we communicate with others in different ways, not just speech, how we act, how we do business, because this is the life that we know. Now we are going to be talking about the power of the mind. And we are going to be talking about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is that part of us that is thinking. And whatever you think you can achieve, it is achievable. Whatever you can conceive in your mind, it is achievable. But right away, when I said that, some persons already, the paradigm has started to kick in, and you're saying, I've thought of some things that can't work, that were just not real. That's the paradigm. We have to realize that is the paradigm. We also have the educated mind, all the things we learn in school and other places. And a lot of them we don't act on. We learn them and we know they are good. And for the moment, sometimes we go to some seminars and things, and they really feel good to us, but then we just stop. There is this research that said it's only 5% of things that are learned at a seminar are acted on. And so people get emotionally excited. Even at church, they get so excited in the message, and then nothing. And our intellect is a part of our conscious mind also. Our perception, our will, our reasoning, our imagination, our memory, our intuition. And I'll be doing further teachings on these. I'll tell you more a little later on in the presentation, because each of these is power-packed information getting us into where we want to go. Now, our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is our emotional mind. That is where things happen because we get connected to it. That is necessary. So for our thoughts to get here, for action to happen, we need the thoughts to get here for action to happen to our conscious mind. But the problem is our conscious mind, the choice, that is where the choice is made. In the conscious mind, we have the ability to accept or reject. We tend to accept what we don't want, but we reject what we do want. And before I go any further, let me just, I don't think I said it at the beginning, that all these teachings are from Bob Proctor in his training program. And so I have learned and I'm training you. I am passing on the information for you. That's what life is about. Now, the paradigm says, I don't know that. We're not going there. The paradigm says that's not familiar. The paradigm says, no, that's scary. And so we reject. And a lot of times we accept the things we don't want and we reject the things that we do want. Reality. In our conscious mind, that's where things originate. We have the potential within, but we need to get the things to our unconscious mind. The unconscious mind, the power, the beauty of the unconscious mind is that it accepts anything you give to it. It cannot differentiate between what is imagined and what is real. Imagine if you can visualize doing something, it means you can do it. Because the unconscious mind does not know the difference. When a baby is born, it only has that unconscious, that subconscious mind. It accepts anything you give to them, wide open, to everything that goes on around. You see that, those curious eyes, ready to receive. So you have to ask yourself, what was your environment like when you were born? What materials did you learn that need to either be erased or relearned? What were the lessons that were reinforced in your life as an infant? You have to think about that, because there are some things that need to be erased totally. That is why some of us hold on to poverty so much. That is why some of us hold on to negativity so much, because that is what we observed and that's what we learned around us. Now, your subconscious mind, that's where your self-image is formed. Powerful. But remember, we decide what goes there. Can you imagine? Your self-image keeps you locked into where you are. Your self-image also pushes you where you believe you can go. Now we need to find a way to reform, reframe our self-image. Because if your self-image keeps you locked into where you are, then that self-image needs to be a powerful self-image. It cannot be a self-image that holds you back. Can you imagine? It's all about the programming. How is our mind programmed? How our mind is programmed impacts the way we see and interact with the world. So the programming, a lot of us need to delete, put it back to factory setting and start right over with our programming, because we are not programmed for success, some of us. Some of us are not programmed for greatness. And so we know what we want, but our actions don't match it because our paradigm says no. Our mind gives us the ability to think about the things that we hear and reject the things we don't want to hear. So a lot of time, the things that we are hearing right now, there are some things that I'm saying that persons are getting excited about, but the mind has started to reject. The mind has started to say, no, this don't make any sense. The mind has started to say, this can't work. We keep the information, and this, when I read this, when I went through this and did this site, I said, no. We keep the information that makes us miserable, and we avoid and fear the information and the habits that take us into our greatness. We need to start telling the thoughts and beliefs that hold us back to get out of here. The thoughts that tell us we can't do it, get out. The thoughts that tell us that we are not going to be rich, that we're not going to be wealthy, get out. We need to run them. The thoughts that tell us that we cannot achieve our goals, get out. Get out. So you need to, even now, think of some thoughts that are coming to you and tell them to get out. You are not allowed here. Get out. We need to run them away because they don't have the authority over, and we cannot allow them to go to our subconscious mind. Schools teach us what to do, but we are not taught how to change the old paradigms, the old belief system, and to develop better ones at school. So even though we know what is best for us, some of us, we don't know. We don't do it. We don't do it. We know what is best for us. We know what we want. We know what we need to do, but we still don't do it. Paradigm. The paradigm can cause smart people to produce poor results. You have some people who have the doctorate, the masters, have different things, and they read in the book and they pass the exams. They have the head knowledge, but the paradigm is still holding them back. The paradigm is still stopping them from reaching where they want to reach. Paradigm, the belief system that you have, we have to change it. So to change the results, you must change the paradigm. Changing the paradigm takes work, but guess what? It is possible. So a lot of people are into these get-rich schemes. A lot of persons are going through situations where they've tried this quick money, these different programs, but it takes work. We have to change our belief system, because even if money comes to us, if we don't change the paradigm, the money is just going to go. And we see it with the scammers. The paradigm was not changed. And so they get all this money, illegal, yes, but it had to go because the paradigm was not changed. To change the results, you must change the paradigm. I want everybody to just say right now, it is possible. And you can type it in the chat. It is possible. Guess what? It's important to get past that terror barrier, because passing the terror barrier means freedom. I want you right where you are to say freedom. You need to own it. You need to feel it. Freedom is possible. It's available to everyone. There isn't anyone that cannot live the way you want to live. It is possible. You don't know what you're missing if you don't know that you are missing something. And a lot of persons have gotten so comfortable in the uncomfortable comfort zone. We have gotten ourselves comfortable in things that we do not really want, but we sit and we accept it. because we don't know different, because we have been caught in a paradigm. Each of us has power flowing into our mind. It's up to us to choose how we use what we get. Up to who? Up to us. Touch yourself and say, it's up to me. Sad thing is that we usually use what is in harmony with our paradigm. That's why the paradigm has to change. Our body has its own vibration. The paradigm, however, controls the vibration. The vibration is on the conscious level, we call it our feelings. And so we describe that we feel, we feel like we can't manage, we feel like we can't get there, we feel like we can't do it. And the thoughts are chosen, are usually those that make us comfortable. They harmonize with the vibration we are in, even if it does not bring good results. And so we say the things to keep us comfortable where we are. We have to change the paradigm. And the paradigm is going to stop us from achieving our goals. And our goals have to be achieved. Paradigm is like a prison. The paradigm keeps us locked in. The paradigm, the sad thing is, it keeps us locked in because we lock ourselves in. Because the prison of paradigm has no locks and no keys. You are free to leave anytime you want to. Imagine getting the same results over and over again and feeling frustrated, but staying in the prison and producing the same results that are not working for you. That's called in my book, bondage. Bondage. We have to get out of it. Then guess what? There comes a good idea, an inspiration to get you to step out of your comfort zone, a chance to step into your greatness. Then the paradigm gets nervous and says, no, no, no. And the idea is just in the conscious mind. So guess what? It's never going to happen. It's just at the thought process. It hasn't gotten connected with our emotions. And so we get that idea and we kill the idea. But then you start to feel it. And guess what? This is where everything goes crazy. Because the emotions get involved and now the comfort zone is not so comfortable anymore. Action has to be taken. You're ready for more. You're ready to move on. And then, bam, terror barrier. Terror barrier comes up, stopping us. We see that wall and we are like, no, I can't manage this. I can't do it. I can't share my situation with my terror barrier. I had an idea for a program and I shared it with different persons that the program would have impacted, and every single one of them loved the idea. And I could not at the time push myself to push the idea. I mean, persons were ready to share with their parents for them to pay for the program. Everything for the program was ready. But I could not at that time push past the terror barrier. It is time to break free, because what we do when we reach a terror barrier, and that's what I did. I just went back into my comfort zone. It was scary at the terror barrier. My heart started pumping when I realized that this could reach a full potential. So sometimes we think people have fear of failure. There is a fear of success too. I went back into my comfort zone. And guess what? I was so relieved to get back there. I remember when I was in network marketing and they taught us about cold marketing. And I got through to one guy and he was talking, and then we set up a time for a meeting on Zoom. And my heart started pumping. Is this conversation going to go well? Am I going to say the right words? Am I going to say the right thing? And the guy texted me to say that he couldn't make it. And I was like, shh. Somebody who would help to increase my income. Somebody who invested in this program would have caused me to move higher in the program. And I was relieved that he couldn't show up. Terror barrier. Relieved that the sale is cancelled. Relieved that the program is shelved. Relieved that the rent money for the shop that you pushed yourself to invest in is refunded. Guess what? Wow. You were almost out of the prison. Almost. But almost is not enough. almost is not enough. We have to break free. Guess what? You're going to hit that terror barrier. The paradigm is going to try to get you to bounce back where you were. And you have to pick that up now. You have to recognize that now. The terror barrier is going to try to stop you. The paradigm is going to try to hold you back from releasing. But you have to say, not me, not anymore, not again. You have to reach a point where you say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I don't want that stuck life anymore. You start thinking about the cost. You start thinking about how much you've lost. And believe me, I have lost a lot of money. You start shouting scam. Scam in one of my meetings, they say when you're still confused about money. Fear steps in and produces the anxiety. And you tell yourself, oh, the pay is small, but at least it's sure. You tell yourself, I know exactly how much I'm going to be getting each month, so I can plan it out. I'm sure my bills will be paid. Right, Kerry? We're sure of it. Life must take you to the stage where you say, this is it. I cannot take this mediocrity living anymore. You need to go crashing into the terror barrier. You need to be hungry for more. The thoughts of holding you back will still be there, but you need to make the move and say, yes, I did it. And you have to keep going. You have to keep going. Enough is enough, Denise. This is it. And you have to keep going. You cannot let anything hold you back. Your life is too important to be held back. Keep feeding that good idea. Taking the right information to support your move. Now is where you have to choose what you reject from the conscious mind so it doesn't go to the subconscious. You have to choose what you accept. Get emotionally involved in your move forward. And guess what? Your paradigm will respond. You have to be consistent. It's possible to live where you want to live. It's possible to move to Freedom City, but Freedom City starts here. Freedom City starts in the mind. If you don't go through your terror barrier, you're going to stay where you are for the rest of your days. That's no place to live. That's a scary thing for me. To think that you're going to be stuck where you are and that you had unlimited potential. You have unlimited potential. You have it within you to make it. You have it within you. Not everybody has the same dream, but whatever your dream is, it is possible. Guess what? We have to do this. And I'm here to work with you to get it done, one step at a time. I know I tried it alone and it did not work for me at all. And I kept trying, and believe me, I kept losing. And then I decided to invest in a coach, and my life changed. I'm so wound now. Today I was by my brother's house and it was amazing. My brother has different gadgets, different things, and I was not interested in Netflix. I was not interested in any television because I had my studying to do. I had my personal development to do. When you're focused, when you know where you want, your life automatically changes step by step. I want to do that for you too. I want to be working with you and have a wide range of material to support you, to help to get you where you want to go. I've been trained by some of the best. When I was speaking with my coach and sharing with him some of the persons I've worked with in the past, he was like, why haven't you moved further? And I know that it was time. It was time. I want to help to bring out your best too. I want to be there to help to give you that support, different persons in different ways. I want to encourage you now to make the decision to become a full power champion, because it's your time. It's your time to move. It's your time to step ahead. It's your time to make a difference, and it's possible. It's your time. as a Pull Power champion, the benefits that you get access to a private Facebook group with like-minded people, because we have to support each other. You get 6 minutes to success voice notes straight from the man himself, Bob Proctor, and the Bob Proctor team. So imagine each day getting these voice notes just to remind you. You also get motivation videos 3 times per week. You also are entitled and you are expected to show up. Study sessions once per week. This is where we are going through and changing the paradigm, because if we don't keep the mind active, if we don't keep the mind focused, the paradigm is going to go right back. So we have to help to train the paradigm. So that is why once per week, and once per week is with me, but you are expected to study daily, and you have to keep it going. Once per month, we'll be having also group coaching sessions. And this is a package that normally, when I paid for a similar package to this with less things, I paid $1,000 US, and it didn't have the study sessions, but I realized that the study sessions helped me. And so I want to make sure I help you. I paid $1,000 US, not Jamaican, $1,000 US, but I'm not offering this for $1,000 US. I'm not even offering this for 500. I'm offering this for an introductory figure, and those persons who sign up today, do not share this after a while because it's going to sound ridiculous. But I am offering all this for just $50 US. The only condition is that at the end of the training, this package, we want to work for about 2 months together, because a little time, a little 2-week thing is not going to change the paradigm. So we want to work consistently for 2 months. And the only condition where you're getting it for $50 is that I would like you, after the period, to share your testimonial, to share what it was like being a part of this program, to share how you benefited, or if you didn't benefit, whatever your experience is. But I know you will benefit. I know you will, because this material is powerful, and we have to change that paradigm. We have to get where we need to go. Stop backing away from the life you deserve. Take the leap of faith and allow me to work with you to pull you into your greatness. Allow me to give you some of what God has deposited in me. You notice it's not me. It's not Rosette. Could never be. But I know that I'm ready to move forward with you. And I close as I started. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Let us step away from allowing our paradigm to control us. Let us step away from allowing our paradigm to hold us back, and let us step into our greatness, because guess what? You deserve it. You deserve it. You were created for it. You were created for greatness. So everybody here, I believe, has my contact number. But if you don't, I will put it in the chat so you can just send me a text if you know you either have questions or you would like to work with me. You just let me know. This information is not just for me. I cannot keep this to myself. I have kept it to myself a while because I was preparing and I was getting ready to move forward. But now God has said it's time. It's time. And I'm ready to work with those who are ready to move. So this is not for everybody. There are some persons who sadly are still going to be stuck in their paradigm. But there are some of you I know who are ready and are ready to say enough is enough. Blessings to you all. I'm going to be closing the recording now, so that if anybody has any questions, but I just want to thank you so much for being a part of this session. Blessings.